Hello, welcome to this video where I'm going to show you around my new to me 2003 Ford Focus TDCI. If you're new to this channel because you found it via Ford content, my name's Rick. I tend to buy Rover or British Leyland cars as a rule, but occasionally I do change and get something different. I had a Seat once, but this time I fancied a Ford as my daily driver. People on the channel won't know, but Ford was a massive part of my life way before I got into Rovers. My first car was a Ford, and when I had my Land Rovers, I've had 11 Land Rovers. When I had Land Rovers, I always ran them in tandem with a normal car, and it was always a Ford. So I've lost count of the amount of Fords I've had, but this is the third Ford Focus I've had. I've had the saloon and the estate, and this is the hatchback. So I'm not new to the brand, but it's been a long time since I've been in a Focus. I think I'm dredging the memory banks, but I think 2011, 2010 was probably when I got rid of my last Focus. Certainly I'm edging towards 2010. I had a Fiesta after that, and I got rid of that in 2011 when I got a Volkswagen. So I'm going to go for, it's been a good 12 years since I've been in a Ford, and specifically probably longer, a Focus. What you need to remember is when I had these last time, they were virtually new cars, and now this is 20 years old. So there's a lot of differences. I didn't have to contend with rust and stuff like that years ago, as I do now. But it's fun at the moment. I'm quite enjoying it. I've cleaned the car up since the video which was out before this, where I basically collected the car, then did a few little minor jobs on it. I've now decided I'm going to do a full-length video, show you some of the outside now it's clean, and show you under the bonnet, and just generally talk about the car as I do. So join me for this one, and I'll show you a quick look round this Ford Focus Ghia TDCI. It's a 2003, January 2003 Ford Focus. They call it a Focus 1.5 because it's the facelifted version with the rubbing strips and the indicators in the headlights. You can see, although it's quite shiny after a good day of waxing, there are some faults with the car. It's 20 years old after all. I've got a missing cap on the mirror, and indeed they're replacements. They're not the proper mirrors. This should have colour-coded mirrors. I'm trying to find some. You see the other side's got a black one on. They should be Metropolis blue. It's got a little bit of damage on the front corner here, and then a little bit more on the other corner that's a lot worse than that. But I have touched it up a little just so it looks good from 6 feet away. Other than that, the bodywork is really straight. It's all just corner dents really. See, there's a bit of a scuff there, and as I say, this is the worst one here, but at least now it is sort of blue, and from 6 feet away it's as good as it's going to get. So yeah, it's as I say, it's a diesel 1753cc, or they call it the 1800, and it's the Common Rail TDCI. There you go, 115 horsepower, and it shifts. It's quite quick really, does quite well, and I think they say they do about 50 to the gallon combined, which isn't bad. So yeah, seems quite a straight car, to be fair. I did actually notice while I was cleaning it yesterday, it's had a set of brand new discs and pads on the front, both sides, which is nice to know. There was a comment on the MOT about rusty brake discs. You can possibly see, although the sun is affecting it, it has been standing a long time, so that will wear off. Now these Focuses do suffer with rust on the rear arches, but this one is pretty good. There's nothing this side, even the sills pretty good on this one. The other side, however, is just starting to go, so it will need a bit of rectification. You can see here it's just starting to bubble there, so this part here is just starting to bubble, and this here is actually, you could pop that, the paint has lifted off the sill there. But other than that, sticking your head under, the sill is really good. There's no rust. It does actually say on the MOT, and this is what quite annoyed me, so I've checked the MOT history. Now that I've got the logbook, I can look back at all the addresses of the old MOTs, and it's gone to the same garage. I mean, the guy who's had it before me, I bought it from a dealer, so obviously it got part chopped in or something, but it's had one owner from 2003 to 2006, and then the guys had it from 2006 until this year, which is 2023, so he'd had it a long time. None of the MOTs ever mentioned rust until the one that the guys had done for me. Now what you can see is basically just surface corrosion on all of the suspension arms and stuff. There's no actual rust under the car. So obviously the tester that the guy who I bought it off, the dealer in Slough, just a different tester's set of eyes really. You know, I've got no issues with that. I think I'm going to get some Lanagard, just wire brush it off and Lanagard that. But yeah, very impressed with it really. Like I say, once we've done a little bit of rectification, it will end up looking quite a nice car. So for a 20-year-old diesel car, it's pretty refined really. It's quite nice and quiet in here. Not bad compared to a modern day one. There's not a great deal of difference. We're just shy of 113,000 miles on it now, which is quite low for a diesel of this age, to be fair. It hasn't done a great deal of mileage. The MOT history backs up. It's had quite a few low years and a couple of high years, but even at averaging it out, we're still way below average. I mean, I'm in 4th gear now, and it picks up really quickly. You know, that's the speed limit down a lane at the minute. We were touching 60 within seconds. So certainly seems to be a good strong engine, and a lot more refined than the old style diesels that I'm used to from back in the Ford days when they were 16 and 1800, you know, direct injection engines, or indirect injection as well. They were very noisy and slow. So yeah, quite impressive really. I mean, there you go, that's 50 mile an hour in second without even trying. So certainly picks up well. It's the Ghia model, although this one hasn't got leather seats, which I'm quite pleased about actually. These are really comfy. The Ghia models have a better quality seat than the Z-Tech and stuff like that. You also get a nice armrest in the Ghia, and yeah, it's got a trip computer, and this has got climate control with aircon. Still only a 5-speed gearbox, but no issues at all with that. Electric windows all round, although if you've watched the previous video, that rear one doesn't work. There is a cable broken, and I have bodged it with a screw to make it stay up. Other than that, the car's quite tidy. You've obviously got adjustable steering wheel, electric front seat for up and down. The original stereo is missing, which is annoying, but it's still a nice DAB unit. The legroom in the back, I suppose, is okay, apart from I'm 6'4", so I have to have the seat really back, and nobody sits in the back anyway. You've obviously got your split seat and your armrest in the rear. But yeah, this car is really tidy. There's no cigarette marks or anything. All the cloth and everything's in good condition. All the door cards are good. All in all, quite a tidy car. There is evidence that it's basically been valeted. I found parts like when I wound the seat down, this was absolutely manky. And then behind the steering wheel where they hadn't done, like in that section there, was black with, you know, so I'd imagine it's been valeted through the dealership to make it look nice and covered in what we call bullshit spray to make it look better than it is. But the only issue with that I've got is there's no service history with the car, as I've said. You just never know how well it's been looked after, so I will get it serviced and we'll just go from my ownership as being day one and we'll try and look after it as best as we can. There you go, we'll just pop the boot, although there's not a great deal to show you. The struts aren't the best. It does drop if you've got this hook to it, so I've just disconnected it. So I've just got my tools in the back, and that box has just got like oil and a petrol can in it. But yeah, sizable boot, but again, I won't use it. If I do go anywhere like shopping and stuff, I tend to throw it on the back seat. There you go. So what do we think? Have I done well for my 850 quid? Let me know in the comments what you think, whether you think I've done the right thing with this car. I've got 12 months MOT with it. I don't think I can lose on it, to be honest. Cam belt is an issue, although I was reading in the book it was done on 45,000 miles. It says on the rocker cover on the top 45,000 miles in 2015. Now in the handbook it says every 10 years and 100,000 miles, so according to that I've got 2 years worth of cam belt left on it, which suits me because I won't have the car in 2 years anyway. I tend to keep them a year at best. Indeed, the only reason I got rid of the Rover after a year is because the head gasket went. Otherwise I'd have probably kept the Rover longer than a year because it was just doing a fantastic job. But anyway, we've got the Focus now and we've just got to get used to it. So I thought it was fitting really to end this video along this road. I can remember the date well. On the 26th of April 2023, I was driving down this road on my way back from work in the Rover 45 when all of a sudden it went very nippy in the car. The heating went cold and the temperature gauge was up in the red. Obviously couldn't really pull up anywhere along here. However, I found this lay-by that this little Corsa is parked in now, and right where that black burnt mark is on the floor, which is nothing to do with me by the way, is where I pulled the Rover up, popped the bonnet and found that the head gasket had gone. There was no water in the expansion tank and the oil was all milky and full of water. And yeah, that was the end of the Rover on this channel, unfortunately. If you check through the videos, you'll see that I sold it on to someone who's going to fix it, and there will be more videos of the Rover coming up. He's promised to send me stuff of him fixing it. So it's not the end of the Rover on the channel, just like a few of the other cars now and again make an appearance if I've sold them on to people and they send me a video. So as I've said before, if you're new to this channel, welcome along. There will be a mix of all sorts on here, including trains and buses, so you can pick and choose whatever you like to watch. If it's just Ford, if it's just BL, if it's just trains. I'm one of these people that the thumbnail is always true to life. It will say exactly what it's about, so you don't need to think, oh, I'm going to unsubscribe from this channel because he's putting a train up. Just don't watch that one, it's fine. I don't do this for any monetary gain. I just do it because I enjoy doing it, and it's turned into a hobby, to be honest. The YouTube stuff is turned into a hobby. It gets me out, and it makes, you know, it makes me happy. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy interacting with people, and yeah, it's fun. So if you've enjoyed this and you don't already subscribe, I'd appreciate if you wouldn't mind subscribing, give the video a like, and I'll see you on a future video. That sounded too hubnut, sorry. When you watch people in this video. Anyway, another, I should have started it actually by going, legends, welcome back to the channel. Hey, did you see that focus then? That was like a sporty looking one. It's my side of the road, mate. Rambling, goodbye.